Hey guys, I'm back for another video. So today we'll be talking about Amazon FBA and how to get started step by step. So this won't be a full in-depth tutorial into everything that goes into Amazon FBA, because if I do that, this video will be 100 hours long and unfortunately I can't do that. Okay, so today will just be a step-by-step, an overview, a bigger picture, and then you can actually go back on my channel and see the in-depth talks and in-depth videos on the other parts of starting an Amazon FBA business in 2020. Let's get right into it. So welcome back, and I'll also be jumping into my computer because I've done a presentation, so I'll get you guys to go through that on my screen as well. So I've done a presentation and I'll also be going to walk you guys through that as well. Awesome. So how to start selling on Amazon UK, Amazon FBA 2020. So the first things first, you have to set up your Amazon account. And this is really easy. I cannot stress how easy this actually is. So all you need is to go on Amazon, go into Google, type in Amazon Seller Central Setup, and then basically Amazon has a whole, step-by-step process of how to set up your account. They actually have something called Amazon Seller University, so you can actually go step by step, and anybody, a retard, could actually sit down and watch it, and really easy to actually follow along. But there's a few things you need. Firstly, you need a UPC code. So people actually get confused and they think, oh, this is so difficult, this is so complicated, I don't know how to do this, but it's actually really easy. Again, just go into Google, type in Amazon UPC code for UK or USA, and there's actually a whole website where you actually purchase UPC codes. Now, it can be a bit expensive, and I would recommend going to the actual site where you purchase the UPC codes. And I'm actually going to find you guys the place where you actually go ahead and purchase the UPC codes, because I can't remember the name of the website where you buy it from. So it's actually called GS1. So a simple Google search, GS1, and it will take you to the site where you can actually purchase a UPC code. This is the only confusing part about setting up your Amazon account. After you set up your Amazon account, everything else is pretty simple. Now, a lot of people get confused about the legal part. Shall I set up a limited liability company? Shall I be a sole proprietor? Shall I be a sole trader? Well, at the beginning, it doesn't really matter. When you start selling on Amazon, it doesn't really matter what you are, a limited company or a sole trader. After a while, after you sell a couple of thousand units, then Amazon will request you to actually go and set up a limited liability company, and that's the only time you need to go and set up a bank account, a limited liability company, or just trade as a sole trader. That's what we did, and that's what most of our clients do. They actually sell at the beginning, and then they set up their legal part of the branding. So after you've done this is where we actually get to the interesting part, to the fun part, and this is what I enjoy the most as well, and that is product research. So now there's 100 different ways that you can do product research. There's 100 different tools that you can use for product research, and I have in-depth videos on my channel where I break down different methods, the different tools that you need. The only thing you need in terms of tools, and the only one that I recommend, is JungleScout. So I'll put a link in the description where you can actually go ahead and get JungleScout, and then there are, again, hundreds of different research methods that I have discussed in my YouTube channel, and it will show you an entire step-by-step breakdown of how to go about finding a product to sell on Amazon. So after you found a product, and after you're happy with the product, you actually decide on one product, you're going to go into the next phase, which is actually finding a supplier. Now, to be honest, when you're finding a product, it's actually in conjunction with finding a supplier, because when you find a great product, you kind of have an idea of who your supplier is going to be. But finding a supplier, the only place you need to go to is Alibaba. That's the only place you need to go to. You don't need to go to some random place. You don't need to think about it too much. Just go to alibaba.com and actually find a supplier, message like 50 of them or even 100 of them, because only 10 to 15% of them actually get back to you. After you message 100 different suppliers or 50 different suppliers and you're actually happy with a few suppliers that are actually gonna supply you this product, what you wanna do is you wanna make sure they use PayPal. Now, PayPal is a bit expensive in terms of the conversion rates, but it's the safest method because you get protection on that. If anything happens, you can open a case, I believe after 108, you have up to 180 days to open a case against the supplier if anything's bad, and you wanna ship it directly to the Amazon warehouse. You don't wanna ship it to your house, you don't wanna ship it to your mom's house, you don't wanna ship it to your uncle's house, you wanna ship it straight to the Amazon warehouse. And I'll actually get onto how you go about doing that, because before you ship the product to Amazon, you've got to create your listing with a UPC code, which you will then need to give to the supplier so they can ship it to the Amazon warehouse. Now, in terms of finding a supplier, once you find a supplier, then you got to make a decision on the shipping method you want to use. You can either use air or sea. Now, air is incredibly fast. You can get it within 7 to 14 days or even 4 or 5 days sometimes, but it's a lot more expensive. And sea, it's around 20 to 40 days, but it's a lot cheaper. And most of the time I've always used air. It's just less hassle, go straight to the Amazon warehouse and there's no problems. With sea, it's a bit more complicated. You might have to use a freight forwarder and it just takes longer, and I really don't want to spend too much time waiting for the product to come, especially if I like the product and I think it's going to go viral, and I don't want to wait too long for the product to get to the Amazon warehouse. After you found a supplier and actually agreed on the deal and you're happy to move forward, we get on to the next stage of the process, which is creating listings. Again, very easy. You go onto Amazon Seller Central account. After you've set up your account, you need your UPC code, which you purchase from GS1. You create the listing using the images that you got, using the product description and the bullet points, the listings. You set everything up and you then create a shipment plan, which I'll get onto in a second as well. And then you send the Amazon, you get your product, you get your supplier's address in China and you put it onto that shipping plan on Amazon, so that Amazon knows where the product is coming from, and then you get the details from Amazon, such as the UPC code and the SKU, and you get that onto a PDF file and send it to your supplier so that they can actually print it off and label your products. And when it comes to images, you can do two things. The easy method, which is also the less, I would say, less profitable in the long run, is actually getting your supplier in China to send you the images, but it's less profitable because it's just basically stock images sometimes, and you could actually get a designer to get the logo and put it onto your product packaging using Photoshop. But I wouldn't recommend that. So it's cheap, it's easy, but it's not as profitable. What I would do though is ship one of the products from Amazon to a professional photographer. It's probably around 100 to 250 pounds for about 8 to 10 images. In the UK, I don't know about the US, probably the same price, around maybe a little bit less. And then once they've taken the pictures, you can actually upload them onto your listings. So after you created your listings, after you put the UPC code, you're gonna need the weights of the boxes of the products to input onto your shipment plan, and then you give the Amazon warehouse details. Okay, you give the Amazon warehouse details and address to the supplier so they can ship it straight to the Amazon Amazon designated warehouse. Okay, so once you've done that, you create your shipping plan. Like I said, you need the weights of the individual product. You also need the weight of the big box or the storage box that will be used to ship the products into a massive box into Amazon. So you're gonna need the weight of the product, the dimensions, and the weight of the big box that will be held in whilst it gets to the Amazon warehouse. So you're also gonna need the supplier address, like I said, to input into the Amazon system when you're creating your shipment plan. Once you've created your shipment plan, you don't need to print it. You just take a screenshot or a PDF file of the box labels, the big box labels that the supplier is going to print off and stick onto the big boxes, which is the shipment label basically, and then that's what's going to be sent to the warehouse in the US or the UK. And again, the warehouse will be picked by Amazon's system after you've created your listings, after you've created your shipment plan. So once you've done that, we move on to basically the most exciting part of the whole process, which is getting your product ranked. Again, there's a billion different ways to do this. In late 2019, giveaways and doing all that black hat stuff is not really going to work anymore. We've had tons of Amazon client accounts get banned because we were doing giveaways using launch services. And I think in 2019 and going into 2020, one of the best ways to rank is just using PPC and Facebook ads. And again, I'm going to do many in-depth videos on product launch strategies, and you can check out other channels as well where they give tons of different ways of actually launching a product. But this is the most exciting part, because this is when you actually see the money coming in, and it's amazing because you wake up and you see your products being sold, and it's so fulfilling and it feels amazing because you're like, oh my god, I went through the whole process and now I'm actually seeing my products on the Amazon website, and it's amazing and it feels so good because you've been through the whole process and now you're at the end and you can see your products live. And believe me, when you see the cha-ching every single day, it's the best feeling in the world. So after you actually get your product ranked, it's just basically the day-to-day management, which includes listing optimization, PPC management, improving your images, maybe even getting a video, going through brand registry, which you may need a trademark for, and just going through the day-to-day activities, which you could actually outsource as well. So you can actually outsource the process of the day-to-day management. After you've launched your product, you can actually outsource it to experts that you could get from Fiverr or Upwork. You can actually outsource the, like I said, the day-to-day processes, which can be a bit boring sometimes. But when I do outsource, I would look for an expert who has done this with other clients, who've had, clients in my niche and clients in my country. And I wouldn't really outsource to someone cheap in Asia, because 99.9% of the time, they're going to be very, very bad unless you interview them. So that's the entire process. So let's have a little summary of everything I said. So you start off by setting up your account. Very simple. A simple Google search will show you how to do that, and you can actually go onto Amazon Seller University, and there's step-by-step videos on how to do this. After you've done that, this is the most critical point of the whole process, product research. The rest of the process could be amazing. You will fail. The rest of the process could be the best, but you will fail because your product was bad. So use JungleScout, use different methods, such as using the best seller rank, such as using JungleScout's tools and the criteria to find a product that you're confident in. After you've done that, you want to find a really good supplier that you see yourself working with for the next 12 to 24 months, and then either use air shipment or sea to actually ship it to Amazon, and then you create your listings. Very fun, exciting. Again, you can outsource this part to experts, and you will need really, really good images, either from your supplier or a professional that you will hire off somewhere like, again, Upwork, Fiverr, or you can even use JungleScout Market, which I've personally used, and I can say it's amazing. Then you create your shipping plan. Again, kind of confusing, but if you watch the Amazon Seller Central University, it will show you step by step how to do that. Very simple once you do it. Very hard at the beginning, but not that difficult. And then you launch your product and you move forward. You actually, you could launch a second product, a third product, or build an entire brand. So guys, thank you for watching. For those of you who stayed till the end, click that like button, subscribe, and put the notification bell on. And if you've enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and your family. Comment below on what else you want me to make a video on. And like I said, my channel is mainly about Amazon FBA and social media marketing, but it will probably expand to different things. I am looking to upload 2 videos a week. I want you guys to keep me accountable, and so I can actually do that. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.